side of the racing. To my yeah, how can I say that? And I actually don't own rFactor 2 right now. I'm just not well prepared for this, to be honest. I expected to be other guys around here, but I've taken over the booth right now, so I'm just watching the broadcast myself with a bit of delay, surely, to the live timing page, which I'm also staring at. Also got that weather radar opened, and yeah, just enjoying the stream myself, and being pretty impressed by these guys running a 24 hours race. I think the biggest team size is actually 5 drivers. I think that's what I've seen when I put down the standings overlay for the beginning of the race. And but I think most teams are a maximum of 3 drivers. And yeah, man, driving 8 hours in 24 hours is pretty impressive. I couldn't do that, I guess, without proper preparation. So just to look at the weather conditions, it's still dry, 22 degrees, pretty much high humidity, so tire should go up. Just at the moment, it's getting warmer and warmer. Actually, I experienced it myself here in Germany. We're not too far away from LeMans. It's actually 4 driving hours from here, but yeah, pretty much in the same weather area. And yeah, it's getting pretty warm and high humidity, and yeah, not the best weather for the drivers actually, and especially not for the cars. Yeah, we had actually rain. I wasn't there for that, but seems like we had a yellow flag in the first sector right now. I'm just checking that data board. It's pretty hard to see what happened there. Looking at the data board, it might have been that TT Motorsport, we had a spin-off from TT Motorsports. That might have caused the yellow flag there. So speaking about the weather, yeah, we might get some rain at the end of the race. So actually, when I look at the radar right now, it looks like we could have a dry race till the end. But there are different weather forecasts saying that there might be heavy thunderstorms at the evening, and maybe well, from a driver perspective, they would be pretty lucky if they get the race dry till the end. But yeah, we might still have a pretty good chance to see some more rain at the end of the race. Just trying to check different weather radars and different weather forecasts, and unfortunately they saying different things, so you never know actually. It's pretty hard to predict the weather. And looking at the pace of Kenneth Blanner at the moment for the Northern Light Racing Ferrari, it's actually 2 seconds off Per at the moment for the Odin Racing team. So Paris creating a pretty good gap recently, and it's nearly 9 seconds right now. So he really secured that second place at the moment, and if they're really in the same sequence of pit stops, he can take away that second overall place, which is the win for the GT3 class, pretty easy. But we still have 5.5 hours to go, so that's pretty long time. That's not even the length of a sprint race, we know, which mainly takes a maximum of 3 hours or something. So there's still a lot of time where things can happen, and yeah, you cannot feel secure yet. So guys, by the way, feel free to send me some question on Twitter as well. So as soon as if I understand them, I'm happy to answer them. So yeah, just use the @GripTV live on your Twitter messages, and I will receive them. And also check out our YouTube channel. I have actually recently added a few parts right now of this race, like the race start, and I think the first 8 hours we got on YouTube already. And I will be adding the war race parts at the end of this race. Actually, I'm pretty busy with commentating myself, but all these parts will be added, I guess, at the end of the day. And surely don't forget our brand new Facebook page. Just for your note, all that social media you can find us, just put on the main address and then /GripTV Live. So it's our accounts are called GripTV Live everywhere on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. So you can reach us everywhere. And yeah, give us subscribe, follow, or whatever it's called. So looking at the lap times of the lead car, Rodrigo Bob was still over 10 seconds off his best pace. Yeah, still that damage, and keep that turn 1 incident in mind. So yeah, he's just trying to get it home now with 4.5 hours to go. The gap between second and third place, which is first and second on the GT3 class, was only for the Odin Racing team, and Kenneth Belena Holoif on the Northern Light Racing team is growing really. It's way over 10 seconds now. And I would say at the moment looks like every driver is just trying to, yeah, settle down, keep his position, drive it home, and they're all driving pretty constant lap times, although a few lap times are pretty off the pace the drivers had earlier, but that's probably because of the damage. We might also see some pit stops again in a bit, and it will be pretty interesting at the end of the race to see whether people try to when people actually try to get in the last pit stop and probably saving fuel, maybe saving another pit stop. I mean, the gap between the third and fourth overall, which is second and third on the GT3 class, is about a lap. So if you can actually save one pit stop, which is actually only just like 1 minute actually, but there are still things that can happen, and from my perspective the gaps are still pretty small compared to the fact that we're already driving over 17 hours, and so the fact that the GT3 leader and GT3 second are only 10 seconds away from each other is pretty impressive. Watching the Odin Racing Gallardo with Per Rosenly driving it, driving around the track, it really looks like he's not pushing too hard. He's pretty fast still, but looks like he's really staying away from the curbs, not trying to make any mistake. Actually, now he's hitting the curb pretty hard, but yeah, he's driving very constantly, and pretty much 4 minutes flat all the way. And with already 17.5 hours in the books, it's pretty impressive. These guys are still able to maintain this constant speed, and which is a pretty good pace because their best lap is a 58.4, which is only about 2 seconds faster than what they are driving right now. And the weather conditions are definitely not the best for fast lap times right at the moment, because we got actually sunny sky, no clouds. Actually, it's pretty. The humidity actually plays a big role. It's probably pretty hot, although it's just 22 degrees, and I think the cars don't get the best fresh air. And actually, the grip should be pretty good by now. The rain is pretty far behind already. I think it's like 5 hours ago when we had that rain shower, and yeah. Also, Rodrigo Borba in that only P1 car out there just drove at 3 minutes 17 seconds, which is only 4 seconds of the car's best lap. So it seems like they're picking up some pace again, and not having problems with the damage anymore. So yeah, that's good to see. So yeah, it really looks like Rodrigo is picking up some pace again. It's actually 2 seconds of the pace in first sector, which isn't that much, and could still be the reason. The reason could still be the track conditions, and they're definitely driving better lap times right now. Also, second sector is only 1/10 of the best ever. Looking at the recent lap times, like 284 was at 3 minutes 27, then we got the 3 minutes 34, 3 minutes 24, 3 minutes 20, and now at 3:17, so they're definitely improving. And we just got the leader in the pits right now, so he was really pushing hard on that worn tires. Maybe we get a driver's swap now, so he really did everything he could just before this pit stop, and driving proper lap times again. So maybe we see another driver swap here in the P1 car, and yeah, maybe we see a few more pit stops again in a bit. Nope, he's staying in the car actually. It was just pit stop, but pretty impressive. He put on a 3 minutes 17 with the worn tires, so maybe he's now able to push the car even more again now and trying some good lap times. Although I think there's really no need to push. I mean, he doesn't really have a competition. He just has to finish the race and collect that championship points. Because yeah, he's the only P1 car out there. Watching Perros and like putting down a good lap time again of a 59.379, and that's less than 1 second slower than his best time ever. So it seems like the lap times are pretty much improving right now. Although it's getting warmer and warmer. Although Kenneth Blainer Holoif just drove a 4:01, which makes puts him down over 1.5 seconds to Perez now. So Perez is really pulling away right now, and it seems like the Northern Light Racing team really has no chance to win the thing at the moment. But you guys know it's still 5 hours to go, so. I'm just checking the lap times right now and see whether the track conditions are improving. Actually, Gerd Nielsen for the Sim Racing Tech team with the Nissan GTR is improving as well, so it seems like the track conditions are really improving. He actually drove mid to high 404s, and recently it has just driven a 403.9, and we also just saw a very nice sector 1 time from Per Rosenly, 2:15, which is pretty close to his best round there ever. So yeah, the track conditions are really improving at the moment, although it's getting warmer. But yeah, it's probably just the grip gets better, and we have a lot of rubber on the track again after the rain shower. And we might have missed the off-track from Robin Toll, who actually lost over half a minute on Sector 1 on his lap time and another 8 seconds on Sector 2, so hopefully he hasn't picked up some damage. Actually it seems like. He is actually 1 lap ahead of Dennis Morissette driving that Can-Am Enduro Audi, and so we will see how that will develop. And yes, he's pulling into the pit, so he might definitely had some issues there. Losing another 20 seconds in the last sector. So that might be a chance for the Can-Am Enduro team to pick up another position. Actually, Dennis Morissette is still over a lap behind Robin Toll, but he will definitely unlap himself in a bit. He's actually entering sector 3 right now, so just sector 3 to go till he unlaps himself. And depending on whether Robin Toll has suffered damage, Morissette might have a chance to pick up another position. The Rare Endurance team also changing the drivers right now. It's now Evan Levizier in the Rare Endurance car, and he's just left the pits, and we'll have to follow his lap times whether he have suffered some damage. Speaking about Kenneth, I think there's not really much happening. He's just falling back and losing. He's off pace to Per now, who's putting down a pretty good lap times of flat 4 minutes. And Kenneth has a bit of pace right now, driving 4:02s pretty constantly, and yeah. Just checking different weather forecasts right now again, and I've found pretty many ones that say that we might have some rain about 2 or 3 hours, so we might probably see some rain at the end of the session, definitely. Probably no heavy thunderstorms than expected yesterday, but we probably have a wet race end. I'm just checking different weather forecasts to give you a detailed view of it. Yeah, we're definitely expecting rain at local time of 15 or 16 o'clock, which is in about 2.5 to 3.5 hours. And we still got 5 hours on the clock for this race, so yep. Now I got a phone call. Actually, watching the weather radar, you don't really see anything yet, but yeah, 2.5 hours is pretty far away from now. So it also seems like watching the weather radar all that hours in the past, it seems like the... What was that? Seems like the Racehour's actually generating itself just at the coast of France and not really coming from the seaside, because we got Spain there in the south, and with the northeast wind, the rain is actually picking up itself at the coast, and yeah, it's pretty hard to predict just from the weather radar. But different weather forecasts saying that there will be rain about 15 GMT plus 2, which is 2.5 hours ago from now. So yeah, I would say there will definitely rain at the end of the race. So we might just see another 1 or 2 hours wet racing. So looking at the lap times again, Rodrigo Borba has picked up pace pretty good again, driving constantly 3 minutes 17ths and 18ths. So that's definitely better compared to what he drove this few laps before his last pit stop, where he seemed to have some damage caused by that massive wreck in turn 1, hitting that curb and yeah, airborning his car. And also Per Rosenley for the Odin Racing team is driving constant 59s now, high 59s. That's pretty impressive. And yeah, Kenneth really had to give up, and he's driving high 4.1s or low 4.2s. So it's pretty much settled down at the moment. The closest gap between cars is still for the first and second position between the GT3 class, which is about half a minute now. Not yet, but it will shortly be. And yeah, with the Rare Endurance team doing a driver swap again. Looking at the lap times again, it seems like they've been picking up the pace again, and that issue they might have had in this first sector like 3 laps ago might have just been a small problem. So Erwin Levasier is still 1 lap ahead of Dennis Morissette, and the pace of these guys is actually Dennis Morissette is actually, seems like he's about 6 seconds faster, but I mean, it's over 1 lap down, and that's over 4 minutes, so it would take quite a lot of time to reach him. So last lap, Erwin just finished it, which is 3 seconds slower now. He drove a 4.9, which is way faster than the one his teammate drove earlier. So yeah, I don't see Morissette catching up to Levasier. Oh man, Cave. I mean, I'm German. What do you expect? So guys, feel free to send in some questions on Twitter or even on Twitch chat. I'm trying to answer them. Doesn't have to belong to the race actually. You can ask questions to me too. There's something that interests you. How many cars started? It was 17 cars, and we are still got 8 cars running. So that's a DNF ratio of over 50% right now, which is pretty unfortunate. But it's still pretty impressive. Even the TT Motorsports, which are dead last, still running. And the guys who are still running it right now, I guess they are still trying to finish it. I think the positions are settled down pretty much, and the moment it seems like there's nothing to lose or win for anyone. And we got Per in the pits right now, so Kenneth is now picking up another position, but he probably gotta go to the pits as well in a bit. So yeah, so Kenneth Oloif is just leading the GT3 class right now, with Per Rosenly in the pits right now, but he's already leaving it again. So there was no driver swap actually. So compared to the last time they did the pit stops, Kenneth actually took the went into the pits 1 lap later. So it will be interesting to see whether this difference is still there and whether he will pull into the pits after this lap. And if not, we can definitely say that the Ferrari F458 is better on fuel consumption compared to the Gallardo, but yeah, we will have to see that. So yeah, as said in the chat, looking at that P1 standings right now, we got Target Racing already leading the championship by 73 points, and finishing this race, they probably take away another. I'm not pretty sure how many points they will take, so maybe Jimmy can tell us more about this, but they will be leading the championship by far after this race, because we only had them contending at this race, and the other guys just didn't attend. And we got Garrett Nielsen to the pits as well right now, so we got another pit winner open right now. All the guys are pulling into the pits, just checking whether Kenneth is going into the pits, and he's just about to come to the last sector last turns right now, and yeah, he's in the past asset right now, so let's see whether he will go into the pits and Perry can take away that second position again. And I need to go to the phone. So yeah, Kenneth is in the pit right now, so Per will pick up this second overall position again. So yeah, it seems like they're pretty much on the same sequence. And yeah, maybe Kenneth can, if he can pick up a bit more pace and close that half-minute gap we had before the pit stop, we might see a battle for the win in the GT3 class there, but unfortunately, at the moment it doesn't look like. So in this second, Paris just taking the second position again, and Ken is still in the pits. And we also have a driver swap there on the Northern Light Racing team. It's now Jimmy Jewel Halvorsen driving the Northern Light Racing car. So will be interesting to see whether maybe he can pick up a bit more pace and close the gap to Per. And it seems like Jimmy is waking up again.
I don't know. I don't know. Oh my god, he is. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Steve. How are you?
How am I? That's a very interesting question. It's not really. I'm awful, but I'm fantastic to wake up and see that we've got a race that is still this close after so long.
Yeah, I had the same feeling when I wake up this morning, and I was sleeping a lot more time, so...
So when I went to sleep, it'd been raining for probably about an hour or so, and the NLR car just got back onto the lead lap. And Thomas was driving fantastically out in the rain. So to see that they continued to close the gap from there is... I saw, what was it, not so long ago, it was 10 seconds, wasn't it?
So right now we got the Rare Endurance team in the pits again. We had just had that driver swap a few laps ago. Not pretty sure whether this is a planned stop actually. Looking at the sector times, which look not that good actually. So maybe we had a spin or something there. Yeah, the last time they pitted, that was 5 laps ago, I guess, if I understand this data book correctly. And probably it's not a planned stop right now. Also, the sector times of sector 3 is 30 seconds off, and sector 1, which could also be the sector he just entered, when entering the pits, is over 1 minute off, but so... I think they had some issues, but they also did a driver swap right now. It's now Ronald Kracht in the Randall stream, driving that car. Just leaving the pit right now.
I tell you what, that's I'm almost surprised to see that car running. The amount of issues it had during the night with, I don't know what was going on with its brakes. It just couldn't seem to make any corners. They were losing the rear end into corners. It looked an absolute nightmare. We thought at one stage it had a brake failure.
Yeah, wasn't it that car who totally missed? I think it was sector 1 where he braked and just before that left corner he suddenly steered to the right and hit the wall.
It could have been that one, yeah. There was someone else that did that as well. So it's fantastic to still see 8 cars running. 4 hours ago or so there was 9. So.
But we might have just had some problems of the...
Speaking of the rare endurance car, it's gone up into the gravel in the PlayStation chicane.
Yeah, and Dennis Morissette as well was off track, I guess, because he didn't have any speed there. I think there were some problems as well.
Morissette looks okay. Let's rewind a bit.
Yeah, but his first sector was 35 seconds off. Yeah, so...
He had a spin in the Mulsanne corner. It's amazing to see that Rosenlee's still able to lap under 4 minutes at this stage in a 2-man team that's doing the whole 24. And it's a fantastic performance. Yeah,
it's pretty impressive. I couldn't do that.
I still see the P1 car is doing it. It's in a 3:16.7 last lap. Racing no one. Rodrigo Borba is still pushing on in the middle to do those lap times. It's absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, we actually had a massive crash with the P1 car, I would say 2 hours ago, where he hit the curb in turn 1 and just airborne and had massive damage. Yeah, it was pretty crazy, and the car had pretty much damage. We had a driver swap, but the pace of I'm not sure who it was, but it was 20 seconds off, but he has picked up the pace again. That's pretty interesting to see, and pushing like hell at the moment again.
For anyone to be lapping that near their fastest lap at this point in the race is a fantastic effort. Like Jimmy says in the chat, that for these guys to keep on racing when they could, if they really wanted, they could have stopped 8 hours ago just for points. That's fantastic. I really hope they get to the end.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Seeing the TT Motorsport GTR is also in the pits now. Appeared to be about that time. Of course, we don't know whether there's driver swaps going on there, because I think all the drivers that are there, actually, they're all in the same room, so... Certainly a change of tyres going on. We've seen that with everyone at every stop so far that I've seen. It could have changed in the 3.5 hours away. I'm looking forward to seeing what sort of pace Halverson has, to see if he can respond to Rosenlee.
What's the time difference actually when using hard and soft tires on this track?
Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't done any laps in the GT3 cars at all. I only drove the experimental GTE Corvette.
Ah, I see.
And I spent all my time in it running around with race fuel in. So I haven't tried the softs at all. I know with that car anyway, it's more the fuel that makes a difference to the lap time rather than the tyre. It's around here, less weight, there's more straight line speed. There's a lot of straights, more quarter speed, more straights. It's going to take a lot of time. We saw qualifying was what was it, a 3:54.0 from memory, and Halverson lost it coming out of the tip. Drewsy's just nudged the barrier. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, it seems like he was pushing pretty hard, and the lap times are improving at the moment, I guess, because we have just 2 lap times below 4 minutes from Pierre Rosenly and from Peter Munkholm. Also,
fantastic.
Jimmy, before his crash, he was flat 4 minutes, and that's pretty interesting.
It's fantastic efforts. I see. Just his turn-in looked okay. Just sort of looked like it hit a bump, and it sort of ran out wide over the runoff, and he couldn't hold it.
And we got the sim racing pole and Gallardo in the pits right now, so maybe we'll get another driver swap.
Maybe. I mean, it's, I may have missed it. I think I've only seen 2 drivers in that car. I think. Not absolutely sure.
I'm pretty sure we had a driver swap there about 1.5 hours ago.
This is where I wish I was taking notes now during the race, but next time.
Yeah.
We go. Yes, we've had a driver swap there. Flazinski's got into that Lamborghini. Munkholm comes past him as he leaves the pits. Back up to racing speed.
And we have a personal best time from Peter Munkholm in this sim racing tech.
What a fantastic effort that is.
That's the best GT3 lap we have yet. It's a
the cars to the left.
58.3, yeah. Wow, that's impressive.
358.394.
But seems like all drivers are improving a bit, so it seems like the track conditions are taking a pretty big role at that, and yeah. Seems like
the track looks like it's rubbering in really well after the rain we had this morning. I was expecting. Wouldn't have been surprised when I woke up to see that it was still raining. To be honest, it was so heavy and so wet.
So now we have the P1 car in the pits again.
Yes, we do.
Seems to be a planned one. Last one is 10 laps ago.
It's okay. There's no visible. Yeah, that's about right. They've been doing sort of 10 laps or so for stints. They didn't get. It's not a very long stint for the P1 car here. I said P1 cars here again, when there's definitely not cars in the race in the class. just the car.
Yeah, they already got 33 pit stops, and the top GT cars have about 12, 15 or so.
Yeah.
That's half of them.
It's incredible. Rodrigo, we have to stay in that car.
Yeah, we have to say that the P1 car actually had several crashes during the race.
Well, it has, but so I'm surprised to see it still doing the pace it's doing with a couple of the big hits it's had.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to continue after that airborne crash at T1. That was massive.
Again, it's another car I'm glad to see running still is the Can-Am Audi R8. That car at one stage in the race, many hours ago, was lacking a left front wheel. It's had a couple of other quite big hits as well, losing the front end. Just to see their effort keeping that car running. And the TT Motorsport GTR. It certainly stands out, doesn't it? It's that is about as green as you can get. Have you seen that car, team?
Yeah. No way you couldn't see.
So, really early in the race, it was 2 or 3 hours in, it had a spin coming out of the S's, and I think the only thing that saved Sardina from nailing it was the fact that you could see it was so bright, you could see it so early, he somehow avoided it. I don't... It was a great bit of driving from Sardina to miss it at that stage in the race.
So it seems like Jimmy Halvorsen is doing good pace again after his spin there, and seems like did he hit the wall?
He just touched the wall on that opening, in his little spin there. Yeah, I don't think it would have done any real damage. I think he should be okay.
And we got Dennis Morissette in the pits.
He's done a 2:14.9 first sector. That doesn't strike me as too bad. It's pretty good, actually. Gap there is about 41 seconds or so, according to the live racer's timing. Was that a quick stop for Morissette? It wasn't just yeah, it was a regular stop. Doesn't look like he actually changed tyres. That's that's thrown my theory out of water, isn't it? Watching Bear Rosenly still nailing the curb through the Ford chicane onto the pit straight. Still lapping under 4 minutes. And even at this stage, you can hear the P1 car closing in on Morissette. For that P1 car to still be going, and the GTs who've only seen it very rarely during the race, still be alert to not get in its way is it's a hell of a job. It appeared that Timo's had to go away. He's off to go and get food. He's I can't say enough about Timo's efforts for this event. What the graphics he's come up with, really are just outstanding. I've said to Jimmy a few times he needs to get onto Timo to do his overlays for Twitch and all that. So his work far outweighs what I can do. Jim Muncombe again under a 59, a 3:58.9 last lap. He's motoring right now. See him nail the curbs in the Ford chicane through both parts. Yeah, 4 minutes flat that lap. There's one thing we noticed earlier with the GT3s compared to what the Yardi GT Corvette could do. They're so composed over the curves through the Fortune King. And the Corvette, it felt like there was a bit of an earthquake going on, to be honest. Seeing Jimmy Jewel Halvorsen be able to take maybe a couple of attempts out of Rosenly in the first sector. Like Rosenly gains it back for the rest of the circuit, it's going to be very hard to close that gap. She's standing, what's that, about 40 seconds or so? Sorry, about 50 seconds. Live Races is lying to me. 49.1. In fact, that gap's up by half a second at the end of the second sector to 49.6 seconds. It's true, Jimmy, it does. that car is awesome fun. I sort of wish I got to drive it during the race. It would have been... That would have been awesome. And the sun going down. I was too tired by that point now. I'm a little out of practice with my endurance driving. It's been a very long time. Indeed, next season. Next season. But it could be prototype. I don't know. I just you wanna. Either way, it's going to be incredible. I'm really looking forward to it already. Hopefully, it won't be a year until we're doing 24 hours of them all again. Is there are we planning on a much of a break after this season, or is it just going to be pretty much straight into season 7? Or am I just getting ahead of myself? Again, Rosenly well able to do a 359.2 with Halvorsen doing a 359.8, gaining another 6 tenths, just eking out that gap. We're under 4.5 hours to go now. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. End of next season? No, don't make me wait that long. Don't. Oh, far too long. I quite like the idea of doing it close to LeMans. I must admit, it's 'cause you get the whole. What's the word I'm looking for? My brain is still. No, you 24 hours a day, 10. You can forget that idea. Oh no, Jimmy, no. You have a sense of humor. I'll give you that. Oh, we've just seen the TT Motorsport GTR is off in the Michelin chicane. Just managed to outbrake himself into the gravel, no harm done. He should be able to continue from there. And he does. The Le Mans vibe, thank you, Jimmy. That's it. I'm really looking forward. I've got a lot of energy for Le Mans now. And I really love to do a race here. It's a 2.4 hour or whatever at the moment. That'd be great. Seeing it again, Halvorson's able to take a little bit out of Rosalie in the first sector, but he then loses the 7 temps back again. So if I can actually get my gaps up in the game, that'd be good. Here's now eked out to 50.1 seconds. Rosalie again under 4 minutes. I don't know. I need to look around. It's been I need to do a lot of looking around for races for URD. The race department race on Friday. I can't say yesterday anymore. It's really, I've got a taste for it now. It's shame. Hopefully we'll get some half decent prototypes to go with it fairly soon. Again, we see Jimmy Joel Halvorson able to take 9 temps out of Rosalie in the first sector this time. So the one thing I haven't done is check their top speeds to see just whether that's the difference in the first sector. Sorry, that was the previous lap. I'm reading it wrong. He does take 6 temps out of him now this lap. Just keeping that gap around the same. I suspect we'll see Joe Ciampa back in the Odin Racing Lamborghini before the end. See what sort of pace he'll be able to do. Not many hours sleep and a lot of driving. Oh, it's CMS. Oh, that's right. Have their races still held it at crazy times in the morning for us? Speaking of pace, we're still seeing impressive laps from Peter Munkholm, still lapping under 4 minutes. Yeah, well, Jimmy managed to claim back about 6 temps in the first sector again and lost on a 9 or so in the second. So any gains he made are always cancelled out during the second and third sectors. I do. It does lead me to believe that he's running less wing, given those are the parts where you really need a bit more downforce. He lost another chunk of time as he crossed the line. Right to 51.1 seconds now. Oh, those times are ooh, they look pretty reasonable actually. Oh, it's at the weekend, isn't it? That's right. It's not on the. It's not their usual midweek 4 o'clock in the morning affair, is it? That's right. I forgot about that. I did see about the pit lanes series. That race, I know it's a 1 hour. I just got a taste for a longer race. I will see. I'll look at the pit lane stuff. I know Jimmy Broadbent is on Friday as well. Did his a couple of us were off doing the race department race. He was doing the pit lanes race at Loch Drummond with a lot of rain. That's the only way it can be described. There was a lot of rain. He nearly got himself a podium finish in that as well, but he just chewed up his front tyres a little too much. Well. Interesting proposition, Mr. Allison. I think if that happened, I would certainly be able to convince Anders to come and do some racing again. He absolutely loves Le Mans. And he wants to do long distance races again. Schiller will, I don't know. That's one. I don't think Jimmy Broadbent would forgive me if I went and raced that car while he's commentating on races. So. Oh no, definitely not. Anders has been. Anders. I don't know if I'll see Anders open rFactor 1 again, to be honest. Schiller's been done a lot of racing, really. He got a little burnt out, to be honest. There was been on the race on Friday. He was I have not heard him that pumped up in a very long time. When he beat Anders time in practice, he literally deafened everyone on TeamSpeak. It was the loudest yes I've ever heard. Halverson managed to do a 59.5 now. For some reason I haven't got a last lap time from Rosenlee. Let's see if I can drag it up in the replay. Oh, Rosenlee at a 59.5 as well, matching each other on that last lap. The gap staying exactly the same at 51.1 seconds. still seeing Rodrigo Borba in the P1 car, in the lone P1 car be able to lap under 3 minutes 20. It's still hugely impressive to me. If anyone's got any questions or any comments on the race, feel free to post in the chat. I'll try my best to answer them. That's what I thought I saw your name in there, Carl, as just through the murk and the rain on Jimmy's video. That little Porsche up there. It did look a lot of fun. I might have to look. I'll see what races they've got left, what sort of tracks they're running. Doing some more racing would be good for me as well, really. See where we are on the pit stop cycles, shall we? Lots of scrolling involved to find out about that. We would need rFactor monitor again, didn't we? That'd be much easier than me scrolling through everyone's lap times to find out when they pitted. And Rosen's been out there now for 10 laps. We've probably got another 7 until he pits again. I know the NLR Ferrari wasn't that long after them with their last pit stop. Rosen did a 59.2 last lap. Halverson down to a 4 minutes 1 now. He's lost nearly 2 seconds that lap. Another 8 laps it looks like from until Jimmy pits again. Thunderstorms at Sebring, that'll be quite something to see. Oh, we just seen the P1, the only P1 car in the race have a spin down Indianapolis. Very, very low speed, harmless spin. He'll carry on with no damage done. Flazinski's just coming up to lap the TT Motorsport GTR now, going to Arnage. If at this stage with tired drivers and everything else going on, we'll Flazinski will be able to get by the TT Motorsport GTR with no problems at all. So we don't know who's actually in that car currently in the GTR because they're all the drivers. Speaking of the TT Motorsport GTR, it's just run off into the wall in the Porsche curves. It looks like it lost its front end. That'll be coming round to stop again. So I credit those guys. They're 7 laps down on the car in front of them, but they're still plugging away. Oh, no, he's carrying on. That's... Or is he? Yeah, he's carrying on. Mr. Malone, good morning, sir.
Well, good morning, Stephen. Good morning, GripTV Nation. Hey, I see Timo. Is Jimmy still here, right?
Jimmy, I believe, he collapsed just over an hour ago. We heard rumblings of him. Oh, God, that was 38 minutes ago now. I mean, it sounded like he had another intruder in his room, to be honest.
Uh-oh. Well, here
I don't quite know what's going on there.
Yeah. So it looks like we got 8 guys running out there. What, had another DNF or something?
We only lost the 1 car since we were last on. That's... Despite all that rain, there was only 1 more retirement. That was... Oh, how many laps ago was that now? Yeah, they completed 205 laps. That was quite a long time ago now. We've had 8 cars for a while. We've had at one stage the top 2 GT3s were separated by apparently 3 seconds. But unfortunately, the NLR Ferrari has now dropped back a little bit, down to about 50 seconds back. How are you doing anyway on this wonderful sunny morning?
Oh, well, I got my fresh brewed coffee here, and it's early morning for me, and just getting going here. I left everything open. Everything seems to be running just fine here, and it looks like our target AMR is still running, pounding out laps there, over 300 now. So I know we made some guesstimates there. People get their
it's very true.
Their guesses in there, and it looks like it may be pretty close here with about 4 hours to go. Who's gonna finish this race? Who's gonna keep it going here? Looks like are these guys Rosenly and Halverson still on the same lap? Holy
They're on
cow.
the same lap. Yep, just 54 seconds.
That is
apart.
amazing.
They've been, even after all this time, they've still been lapping under 4 minutes. It's just amazing to me.
Yeah, looks like we got nice sunny skies. All the rain cleared out here, and they're going to be finishing this one out strong.
We've seen the P1 car as well has still been lapping just a couple of seconds off of its best lap in the race. Still going out there in a class of its own. Oh, that's right. There's about 6 minutes left in the lap prediction competition.
Ah.
The URD license. So if you do own rFactor 2 or intend on getting rFactor 2, and want a chance of winning a full URD mod license, feel free to, predict in the Twitch chat how many laps the overall winner will complete. But do that in the next 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, that's right. I know my prediction was about 330. Got some other pretty good predictions that should be pretty close there.
Sure, especially if we get some more rain again. That'll be... Our teammate was on about something about more rain. Oh my god, I'm not sure the drivers want any more. There's enough drama for Rosenly in the last lot of rain.
Yeah, it looks like we've been keeping the viewership up here. We got about 64 people hanging out on Twitch here. Remember, folks, let's try to get it up to 100 before the end of this thing, and we'll run down the viewer list, guys. You don't want to miss that.
When he says we, he means him.
I'll do my best. I know a lot of everyone else, some of these guys are just waking up here, and just head on over here and hang out with us, folks. We got 4 hours left here. This is when it starts to get interesting. I tell you, it's been an interesting race for the whole 24 hours. There's been a lot of stuff we've seen I like how they have the rain in there, mix things up a little bit. But yeah, you gotta definitely stick around for the end of this one.
That's amazing. It's still 4 hours to go after, well, nearly 20 hours of racing now. That's still a long race in its own right, 4 hours.
Yeah, it would be if you happen to start a race now. Yeah, 4 hours. That'd be a heck of an endurance race.
In some chat about whether Jimmy actually ran out of apples and that's why he fell asleep. Well, quite possibly. We'll have to ask him when he wakes up.
Yeah, he's gonna have to remember to stack that cabinet full of apples there for the next one. TT Motorsports, unknown driver, heading on into the pits here.
Yes, that car just had an off in the Porsche curves. It lost its front end. But it's still going. It's still running. Determined to make it to the end at this point.
Yeah, and Ronald and Dennis Morissette, Can-Am Enduro, they're on the same lap pretty much. So we still may have some shuffling around here.
Yes,
these guys are pretty close here as far as laps. That's amazing.
It's incredible. Even just after when we disappeared now, about 4 or 5 hours ago, that they're still this close. Got two cars that are on the same lap. Got the leader in GT3, Per Rosenly and Halverson on the same lap. They're separated by about a minute. And of course you got Morissette and, as you said, Ronald Cracked on the same lap. Just about. Only just, but they are on the same lap. We need Jimmy's notepad for that prediction, don't we? I haven't got a pen.
Yep, I got that one down for Coin
Nice.
Ford Caster at 377. He's going for, and you know, with 4 hours left here, I know that some of these guys, you know, during the rain here, their laps slowed down just a little bit here, but now it sounds like they're picking it up, picking the pace back up here. So they're going to be rattling off laps here pretty quick. So we'll see here. And I know we're coming up to the 4 hour mark. Usually we do stop and start the stream here just so we can have it all nice, but I don't know if that's going to be possible this time. But we'll keep it going here.
Timu's not going to be a happy man. Nice tidy uploads are going to be somewhat ruined. Come on, Jimmy, wake up. You can do it.
Yep, and just checking the GripTV Live YouTube. It looks like we got part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and part 5 of the race already uploaded on GripTV Live. So head on over, give them a like, give them a favorite, put them in your watch later folder. Make sure you can go back and see the highlights, see the lowlights. And I suppose we'll be taking questions here at GripTV Live Twitter. Head on over if you got a question, comment, suggestion. Head on over and tweet it at GripTV Live on Twitter.
Absolutely, feel free. More questions, the better. Well, I say that. Did Michael really just predict 123 laps?
Well, we'll write it down, Michael. Good luck to you, buddy. Yeah, only about a minute or so until you get your last votes in here for the overall lap total for the overall winner here.
In fact, that time on live races has just run out. We've just ticked under 4 hours to go.
Oh, man, under 4 hours. Who's going to come away a victor here? I mean, if you look, you know, definitely with the GT class here, anything's possible at this point. Any one of these guys that are running, you know, top 5 can end up winning this thing if you know, you never know what could happen here.
Absolutely.
So,
there's still, say, 4 hours in itself.
Yeah, you can rack up quite a few
time.
laps in that time.
So I think Jimmy's little counter on the stream is maybe falling a little bit behind. I'm assuming that the live race's time remaining is correct. Anyway, Mr. Allison. Applesauce. Need to go and take some apples and just shove it under his nose while he's snoring or something. Rodrigo Borba in the pits again. I forget how short those stints are. Only 10 laps.
Yeah, he can probably run into that pit here blindfolded at this point.
Well, that's his 34th pit stop. Compared to 15 for the GT leader, 12 for the second place in GT.
So it seems like, because I just had everything open here, it seems like we have had no issues with any of the server issues, so this has been going strong here, huh?
That's fantastic news. I believe the servers run pretty much faultlessly since that early break. This is by far the longest race.
So we're breaking records here. Yeah.
Yep. There's a lot of firsts going on today for VEC. Just 10 lap stints. So the P1 car has only got 10 laps of fuel in it. Typically that car's been lapping under 3 minutes 20 for a lot of the last few stints with Borba in the car. With the lap competition, I mean, yeah, it's going to be the closest, it's going to be the closest prediction to the overall winners. Completed laps that will win the URD license. For that, we will definitely need Jimmy.
Yeah. And just quick check of the radar here. It doesn't look like we got any type of threatening weather, so this should stay nice and clear, sunny skies for the remainder of this race. So these guys can really lay the hammer down here. We got another prediction coming in from Robin Rob. He predicts 358. Not a bad guess. I'll make sure to write that down.
Do we let that one in?
Oh yeah, well, Roman Rob. Roman Rob's a good guy. We'll accept it, but that is the last prediction rolling in. We know there is a slight delay with the Twitch, so maybe he got that in just in the nick of time here.
You lucky boy. Say the only other thing is if you win the competition and you actually intend on getting rFactor 2 or already have it, just sign up on the VEC forums, which I will post in the chat.
Yep, I know I was on there. I'm all signed up on the forums there.
Oh, look at you.
Yep, nice clean look of it. Yeah, very nice, well put together.
Just go and find the album from this race again. See if it'll let me share it tonight. God, I've lost where I am now.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Timo!
Hello, Timo. Super Diamiro's checking in. What's going on, buddy?
I just had a meal break. I was commentating earlier.
Very nice.
Fell asleep.
Yep, and I see we got all the way through part 5 or so on the YouTube there, GripTV Live YouTube. So that's good to see.
Yeah, currently we cannot restart the stream, so we will add the other parts probably later tonight, and yeah. So, anything special happened the last half an hour?
Oh, well,
I'm taking a look at Halverson. A little something interesting here is he spins around. Halverson trying to get back on. Yeah.
Exactly the same incident he had earlier when he came out of the pits. Just losing it on the runoff out of Tête Rouge. We also saw the TT Motorsport GTR lost its front end. Some would argue that was an improvement on its looks, but you know. We've seen Rosenly is just continuing to eat the gap out now. And that last lap for Halverson, he did a 4:07 the previous lap anyway, and he's just had that spin out of Tête Rouge, so there's going to be more time lost. I do not wish to put the commentator's curse on Rosenly, and Siampa is looking pretty good right now.
I'm just checking the weather forecast, and we have several forecasts saying that we might have rain between 16 and 17 GMT, with 16 and 17 local time, which is in about 2 to 3 hours. So yeah, we might get some rain at the end of the race.
The very tail end here may get a little system moving in.
That would be a spanner in the works, wouldn't it? After the issues we saw for Rosenly in the rain last night and early this morning, I think the NLR car would almost want the rain to come back. Halverson again, just missing the apex at Indianapolis. That car's not looking the easiest thing to drive at the moment. Tell you what, my mouse wheel is going to be dead by the end of this race, having to scroll for all these lap times. About 4 laps away from Halverson having to pit. Well, 3 laps when he crosses the line this time. Gap's gone out to about 1:20 now. Going up and up and up. Rosenly for the first time in a while went above 4 minutes last lap.
Well, to me, it seems like Jimmy Halverson is really has a better pace for like 1 or 2 laps, but he seems to have a bit of problems with driving constant lap times, and probably, yeah, that's probably a question of concentration as well, because we are already 19 hours in this race, and I'm not pretty sure how many drivers they have, but yeah, I think every driver at this point has at least driven 6 hours.
So there's 3 cars, three cars? Christ, they wish. There's 3 drivers in that car at the moment. They've got Thomas Behar, who's a team manager, NLR, and Kenneth Oliver. I haven't seen him around a whole lot, but he's back for this race. Good to see him.
Yeah, and you know, you gotta factor in how they were able to manage their time off in between stints. if they weren't able to get any good sleep or anything, you know, their body clocks are maybe off a little bit here. So, you know, even though that they haven't been running the entire race, it's definitely been on their mind. And you know, this is definitely the point of the race where you're looking at the clock, you're looking at the track, you're looking at the clock, and you're just like, you know, this thing's got to be getting over here soon. But yeah, just big props to these guys to be able to stick it out this long. You know, but you never know these guys' mental and physical state here late in the game.
For me, last night when I was absolutely knackered. I fell asleep in my chair several times last night before I got off. And even then, when I went to bed, it took another 20 minutes just for my brain to shut itself down again from everything that was going on. And that's just me watching the racing in comments every now and then on it, rather than driving and actually being involved in it. And even the shorter races, they're put so much effort into doing well and just being prepared for them. It's a 24-hour race. One day I will know what it's like. That's for sure. His pace has dropped off a little bit now, did a 4:01 last lap. But it's still enough at the moment.
Yeah, I think he's probably just managing the gap right now.
Yep.
He probably noticed that Jimmy had some issues, and I mean, over 1.5 minutes, and they seem to be on the same pit sequence as far as I know. So yeah, that's a pretty good gap.
Speaking of which, we should be seeing Rosenly in the pits in the next lap or two. Again, this is where I really need a notepad to stop me scrolling through the laps to see when they've pitted.
Yeah, the list is getting pretty long here as the laps pile up. These GT cars, the leader of the GT cars, per Rosenly, 273 laps completed here.
So the last pit stop I've seen from these guys, both of them, two pit stops, each one lap separate from each other. So I'm pretty sure they're on the same sequence.
So we're looking at Halverson being just 2 or 3 laps now until his next stop. Probably 2. Good morning, Jimmy. If that didn't wake him up, I don't know what will.
Jimmy's intruder may have found a big van or something with a large horn. Trying to wake him up here. Maybe he brought apples.
He's gonna be sick of the sight and sound of apples by the end of this.
And Halverson having some more issues there as he gets off. He's coming up to some lap traffic. That's Morissette there. Morissette and that Can-Am Enduro Audi R8 running 6th in his class, 7th overall. See how Halverson deals with this lap traffic here.
Just like it on the curb too much and just rear end started coming around. He saved it. Nothing major, just yet more time lost. Do we have a PO box? I think we need a PO box, don't we, at the moment?
Yeah. Yeah, the different ways to interact with us here. PO box, pigeon carriers, what else? Message in a bottle. What do we got here? I know a lot of guys are across the pond here, so Sometimes there's only one way. Chuck that, throw a little message in a bottle and chuck it out in the ocean.
Absolutely.
It'll get to us by the end of the race, I'm sure. We'll have no problem answering your questions.
See which way the tide's going first.
Yeah. So I've noticed that you guys watching here have definitely hit that follow button. My stats are showing up about 15 or 20 new follows since the start of the broadcast. So thanks a lot, guys, for sticking it out with us. I know some people move in and out here, check in and out on the broadcast. We do appreciate it. If you like what you see here at GripTV Live, tell your family, tell your neighbors, tell your coworkers, tell your relatives. Get them on over here for the live racing action. We
And,
like to do broadcasts.
We got a pair in the pits right now, so it will be interesting to see whether, Jimmy has the same fuel consumption as his team member. So he probably pitting one lap later. Yeah.
Again, seeing the tyres change on that car. We'll see if there's a driver change. The car is rolling backwards currently. From what that's not just. I don't think that's just me. That's definitely rolling backwards.
No, it's rolling backwards here. Rosenly trying to find his pit stall here. Oh, now he's off and away.
Oh, a little lock up straight away. A nice new fresh set of tyres. Alverson now just coming up towards the Dunlop chicane, not able to retake the lead on the pit stops at the moment.
Yeah, his last lap time was a 4 or 6.
Ooh.
But pretty slow again.
Unfortunately, he made a few errors the last few laps and just losing bucket loads of time.
Yeah, maybe he has a bit of problems with the worn tires.
Maybe. They are running mediums on that, so I guess they are wearing the fronts a little more. And then we did hear earlier that some of it is just driving style as well. Some people make the mediums work better than they can the softs.
Yeah, I'm just on the VEC forums right now, and this is the 24-hour at LeMans here, but the next event looks like it's 6 hours at Silverstone, and the countdown timer is running 27 days, 3 hours, 2 minutes, and 43 seconds until 6 hours at Silverstone here for the VEC League.
Should be a good race.
Yeah, as Peter Munkholm is going to be heading on into the pits here, slap some new skins on, refuel, head back on out, maybe see a driver swap. How long's Munkholm been out there?
That is a good question. I think he's been out there since I got back, which is that's been over an hour now. Possibly.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. And Sim Racing Tech there running third right now in the GT class, only about a lap or so down from the leaders here.
They had a really good run.
Yeah, if he can keep it going here, you never know what could happen, how it'll shake out here at the end.
I've just noticed on the rear end of the car at the very bottom it's just got, "This sucks." I don't know what it's pointing at, but it's got 2 arrows pointing down. Oh, I know what it is. The diffuser on the rear end of the car, isn't it? This, I suppose. Think about it, Steve. Wake up.
And he's off and away. Munkholm's going to stay in that cockpit.
So we've had a little bit of them playing with Nissan and then the hashtag Eat Sleep Race Repeat, trying to get some more people watching their stream as well. I wonder if their stream's still up.
Oh yeah, we got some people here with webcams streaming their race live here along with the broadcast here. I know we kind of showcased Jensen's early on here. That was pretty exciting. And some other people streaming on YouTube.
I have to dig through my history to find this. This is...
Yeah, good luck with that. It's been a while. But, and now I see Jansen's heading on in. He is in the server. Maybe be seeing a driver swap here coming up. Rhinus Jansen's just spoke to him. He does have that webcam up, so maybe he's looking to get back in the cockpit here, finish this thing out.
Yes. Where is this damn thing? It's here somewhere. I know it is. Either way, guys, go and follow Peter Muncombe on Twitter. He's got a few things up from the race so far already, including someone sleeping during the event. Grabbing sleep wherever you can.
And the Hulk GTR TT Motorsports heading on into the pits now. You know what, I tell you what, TT Motorsports, you know, maybe not the fastest guys out there, but they're still out there. That's the thing, and they're 7th overall. Absolutely. Definitely going to be getting some points here. That's how you do it, you know. I mean, you know, these 24-hour races, it's just all about finishing, so it's good on them. And Halverson's navigating the pits as well here.
Yeah, it seems like they're still on the same sequence, and
yes,
yeah, it's pretty equal.
Pretty much. Isn't it a very interesting angle, though? I guess the TT Motorsport car is right next to his pit stall. It's going to be a hell of a job getting in.
Yeah, the pit crew's got to work around that, and as pit lane's pretty busy here now.
So we've just had a corn for casters. I think that's a fantastic idea for Jimmy to have them each stream apple sleep.
And getting some word from GTR 24H, it's Chris Dons Johnson in the car now. Maybe he's talking about TT Motorsports?
That's the sim racing tech guy.
Oh, I see.
In fact, speaking of which, there is their the live stream of their onboard of their race.
Yeah, I know some of these guys, they got two guys in the same household, so when they do a driver swap, it still appears with the same name. So that's interesting.
Sure, Peter, it took me a little while to work that out in my slightly non-awake state still. Man, I forgot I've laid that Ferrari as it helps and leaves the pits.
So I know the voting has ended for trying to figure out the total laps for the overall winner of this thing. Right now it's our Target Racing AMR, Rodrigo Borba. He's done 316 laps here. He's really picked it up here late in the game. We're going to see quite a few laps rattled off by him, so I'd imagine some of the guys that were voting some of the higher numbers are definitely going to be in contention. I know I guessed 330. Well, heck, he's only got to do 14 more laps to hit that mark, and I think he'll definitely do that here. We got 3.5 hours left.
Yeah, unless something really major happens, I think we'll be going past the 3:30.
And you see him now, Rosenly, allowing Borba on by there.
Per Rosenly just pitted Fred. He's only been out there a lap or two now since his last stop. So he's going to be probably about another 15, 16 laps until he stops again. This is his first lap out of the pit still, isn't it? I think. Oh, maybe not. No, it's his second lap. Straight back under 4 minutes again at 3:59.2 for Rosenly.
Yeah, it's just been amazing how well they've been able to keep these lap times down this consistently for this long.
It's hurting my head, to be honest, thinking about it. So that gap is now over 1.5 minutes ahead of the GT3 field. And there's something going to happen to the Odin racing car for the NLR car to have a chance at winning this one. But there is still a long way to go.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you know, we've seen some guys having issues with their brakes, having issues with, you know, all sorts of stuff here. And, you know, if Odin Racing starts to, you know, have some issues there and they can't keep putting up the lap times that they can, or that they have been doing, you never know. Northern Lights Racing could make a go at it.
Absolutely.
But I'm rooting for Odin Racing. They're a two-man team. Two guys have been managing this race. That's pretty amazing. I think they've definitely worked the hardest here. I know it was a dang shame that GT Italia, those guys were really flying around and just had some issues. Got to be able to finish the race. Odin Racing really showing us how it's done out there. With a two-man team too.
That's amazing.
I feel for them, you know. So I am kind of rooting for them. But you know, Northern Light Racing, they're still hanging on to it. They got a good group of guys there, and you know, all in all, though, these guys are going to be picking up quite a few championship points here when it's all said and done.
I'm not even sure I'd be thinking about points at this stage. I just want to get to the end now. I've been going for nearly 20. What's that? 20 and a half hours.
Almost be accused of being biased there, Malone.
And Jimmy Broadbent, the Stingy B, Jimmy B is back. Going to be bringing all the live racing action here. How's that apple going, buddy?
Very good. My body doesn't really feel right.
I can imagine.
We're okay. We're
Way
awake.
too much apple juice.
Yeah, that crunch, I think, is that crispy crunch. Let's get a trending, guys. That crispy crunch on Twitter, easily done. Anyway.
No, we had oh, who was it? Someone in the
camera,
chat
shall we?
earlier. Yeah, that would be good. We've had someone came up with a new hashtag for you. Each stream apple sleep.
Fantastic. Awesome.
And maybe in about 2 minutes, we'll go grab some more coffee here. We'll start and stop the stream, or stop and start the stream. Maybe get Timo working on that clip there.
We're going to do that now very quickly, I think, so give me
All right.
2